How would you like this? Busting through your bathroom. How to avoid five-figure bills and headaches by spotting a silent money pit that could be under your feet.
Suing SunPass? How some frustrated drivers plan to fight back after getting bills they say are wrong. Plus,
So not all police officers are bad, but this is just an example of one that is.
On camera, an officer appearing to elbow a handcuffed suspect in the face. Why the victim's neighbor says tonight that officer needs to be fired. Fox 4 News at 10 begins right now.
Live from the station that's in your corner. You're watching Fox 4 News at 10.
Demonstrators gathering across the country today on this President's Day protesting President Trump's declared national emergency on the border. This is as the president talks about Venezuela in Miami today. The president calling for support for Venezuela's self-appointed interim president, Juan Guaido, who's been leading an international campaign to drive the current president, Nicolas Maduro, out of office. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Patrick Nolan.
and I'm Jane Monreal. Dozens of Trump protesters also took to the streets of Collier County to protest the president's decision to sidestep Congress for border wall funding. They're calling it a fake emergency disaster declaration.
4 in Your Corner's Adam Pinsker telling us why some local Republicans say they're unfazed by the outcry.
This is not the first anti-Trump rally the Southwest Florida Justice Coalition has put on, but it is the first time that they've been met with counter-protesters at this location at the Collier County Courthouse, providing for a very tense scene this afternoon.
This is what democracy looks like.
Nina Aragi is no stranger to these kinds of protests.
Try to come to all of them ever since President Trump was elected.
She and a few dozen others braved the heat and traffic to protest President Donald Trump's decision to declare a national emergency so he can sidestep Congress and allot money for a border wall with Mexico.
He actually made it clear that this is something he just wanted to do. It's not an actual emergency, and that he knows he's going to be brought to court for it.
But I spoke to some local Republican leaders who say they're okay with Mr. Trump pushing all the chips to the center of the table when it comes to the wall. Collier County Republican Party Chairman Russell Tuff says House Democrats pushed the president into a corner by not working with him on funding the wall.
I think it's a shame that he has to go to those measures because the Democrats will not give him anything that he wants.
He's still their president. They've been saying not my president for 3 years.
Even though Collier County is solidly Trump country, Nina says she's not afraid to speak out.
Because every voice counts. And even though he won a lot of votes, I think a lot of people are starting to change their mind.
And the Southwest Florida Justice Coalition says it'll be doing more of these protests, especially if President Trump makes any more moves that they feel is against the Constitution. Reporting from Collier County, Adam Pinsker, Fox 4 in your corner.
Thank you, Adam. More trouble tonight for the owner of Bruno Total Home Performance. Investors are suing Louis Bruno, claiming he violated the terms of their operating agreements, and they're seeking damages in excess of $15,000. Last month, as we showed you, several law enforcement agencies raided the company's Bonita Springs office. The state attorney general's office says it's investigating, but has not said why.
Frustrated drivers in Florida are dealing with what they call outrageous SunPass bills. Now there's a talk of a class action lawsuit. Many drivers say they are being overcharged, and instead of paying the hefty bills, they plan to fight back. But just because they're all facing the same issue does not mean it's a one-size-fits-all solution. A class action litigation lawyer says it's not that simple.
Class actions, by definition, means if one person wins the case, it wins the case for everyone else who's similarly situated. And when the underlying claim is that you're being charged for having driven portions of road that you didn't in fact drive, one person proving that up doesn't necessarily prove it up for everyone else.
If you are thinking about joining the class action lawsuit, you're encouraged to seek help from a consumer fraud lawyer.
Tonight, we're continuing our coverage of that Lee County Sheriff's deputy seen on this video appearing to elbow a suspect who's in handcuffs in the face. Well, since this video first surfaced last week, we have confirmed the Lee County Sheriff's Office has placed Deputy Blake Grossi on administrative leave. Tonight, 4 in Your Corner's Jillian Hartman is looking deeper into this case and what could be next for this deputy. Jillian?
Well, Patrick and Jane, I spoke with a police force expert at FGCU who tells me what Deputy Blake Grossi is accused of doing was out of line. He says Grossi could be facing suspension or termination depending on his history here at the sheriff's office. I also spoke with the suspect's neighbor who says the deputy should be let go.
He should be fired, no doubt about it.
Joe Binns lives 2 doors down from the teenage suspect seen in cell phone video being elbowed in the face at the hands of a Lee County Sheriff's deputy.
I was disgusted. I mean, kid really wasn't doing much of anything.
Fox 4 obtaining the LCSO incident report. In it, it explains how deputies were there to arrest the 17-year-old for violating his probation. Deputies say the boy was kicking the door in the patrol car. After warning him a few times to stop, a deputy pepper sprayed him. The boy then apologized and a deputy helped rinse his eyes out with water. What the report leaves out is how seconds later, Deputy Blake Grossi allegedly elbowed the teen in the face.
There's just no need for that. He was already restrained. It's pretty much done and over with.
Certified expert on police force, Dr. David Thomas, tells me the shot in the jaw was uncalled for and unnecessary.
There's literally no need for force in this incident because the kid was not resisting. There's no kicking, there's no trying to headbutt anybody. Oftentimes what happens is the officer or deputy's adrenaline is going so much that it's kind of hard for them to shut that down and decompress.
Now, coming up tonight at 11, we also spoke with Dr. Thomas about how the other deputies reacted in the video and did they do the right thing after the incident. In Fort Myers, I'm Jillian Hartman, Fox 4, in your corner.
Thank you, Jillian. An illegal charter operation shut down. The Coast Guard stopped a boat with 7 people aboard at Watson Island today after discovering multiple safety violations, which included not having a certificate of inspection and not having a credentialed mariner in control of the boat. The Coast Guard and Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission rescued 7 people aboard a fishing vessel. This happened yesterday just south of Vaca Key when the Coast Guard received a distress call saying a vessel was taking on water. The agency sent a crew to de-water the boat and escorted the people to shore. FWC also responded with their own pump and assisted with the dewatering.
Quit while you're ahead. If you're among the drivers who illegally pass a stopped school bus, you might not be able to get away with it quite so easily if a new bill proposed in the state legislature passes. Tonight, 4 in Your Corner's Call 4TA is explaining how the bill would work to keep your kids safe.
You'll see that arm come out, the lights will flash, the stop signs are out, and somebody will pass by illegally.
It's a big problem for students, parents, and school officials all across Southwest Florida. Impatient drivers passing illegally when a school bus extends those flashing stop signs.
I would be floored and maybe out of my mind if I saw someone, not obeying the stop sign on the bus and my children have to cross the street.
Rob Spicker with the Lee County School District says the state has surveyed their bus drivers for just one day in each of the last several school years to see just how bad the problem is.
Last year we had over 600 drivers in one day. Their bus was passed illegally. The year before that it was more than 900 buses were passed illegally in simply one day. So that could be happening every single day. Every person going by that bus is putting our students at risk.
But a bill just filed last week in the Florida House could change all that. The proposed bill would allow Lee County to eventually equip all 900 or so of their school buses with cameras to capture the license plates of drivers who pass the buses when they're picking up kids or dropping them off.
That photographic evidence goes to a law enforcement agency that then issues the ticket.
It would cost Lee County schools about $500,000 to get the cameras on all of their buses. While the primary goal is to keep students safe at their bus stops, Spicker says the proposed bill could potentially generate millions in revenue. The schools would get about 40%.
Say it's happening 600 times a day, $200 a ticket, 180 days of school. It's about $21 million.
Carl Fortier, Fox 4, in your corner.
Happening right now, Collier County Sheriff's deputies are on scene of an active death investigation. This is all taking place in the 100 block of Westwood Drive in Naples. That is north of Immokalee Road, east of NCH North Naples Hospital. Officials say they got the call around 7:45 tonight, but deputies do not believe the death to be suspicious. Stay with Fox 4 on air and online at fox4now.com with any updates.
From teaching your kids in school to serving time in prison, the punishment for a Southwest Florida teacher convicted of having sex with one student and accused of fathering the baby of another. Shari?
I had it locked as always, but they caught the strap.
A Cape Coral elderly man's bike was stolen while he was shopping at a local Winn-Dixie, but a few good Samaritans came to his rescue. I'll have that story coming up at 11.
A woman wondering about the health of the water given to animals at this Florida pet store. What happened when our reporter went there with a camera?
But first, I'm showing you how to save yourself money and headaches in your home or the one you're thinking about buying just by checking what lies beneath. Derek.
And Immokalee hit 90 degrees this afternoon. We could see more areas near 90 here for tomorrow. The latest on near record high temperatures for your Tuesday. That's coming up in your forecast.
Could a secret in your plumbing be threatening the environment and your pocketbook?
We are talking about something that could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. So whether it's your current home or the one you're thinking about buying, first, please, tonight, just let me show you how to check for this potential money pit that could be lurking beneath a house that may look perfect in every other way.
Mimi, come on. You want to leave her outside?
No, Walker.
Walker? All right, let's go.
Jeremy's got it all. Loyal dog, awesome daughters, nice neighborhood, family lives in a fantastic city, and a historic house. I got the tour. This place is amazing. I even saw pictures of how it looked in the 20s. Look at that window. It's awesome. One thing's not awesome. And how did you first notice the troubles? Did you tell me?
Just a clogged toilet.
The culprit? Cast iron pipes.
Cast iron just wears away. It's very strong, but over time it just erodes and it just causes a blockage to where you have to replace it.
Not just the bathroom, dining room.
And there was a spot here that just had gotten much worse.
Patio. So they had to break all this tile.
Because they had to establish a new clean out.
Walls.
We had big holes in our walls.
Floors.
The plumbing underneath this was shooting up at a rate that it was destroying this.
Trees cut down, their roots got in the pipes.
They were huge trees.
Something else got in the pipes too. Is that a rat skeleton?
Yes, it is.
And the leaks, expensive.
Got a water bill for $700 from the city.
Okay, now back to that first sign of trouble, the leaky toilet.
The plumber comes in and says, it's same cast iron plumbing and you basically have to tear this bathroom apart to the studs, so demolish the bathroom. And at the same time, we obviously remodeled it.
What are we talking about when all these bills started adding up?
Definitely 5 figures. We'll leave it at that.
And it's not just homes from the 1920s. This is what we call a $1 million+ view here, right?
That's what they say, yes.
Brad's parents picked this awesome east side of Estero Island to build the family house in 1960.
So it's been 58, 59 years almost, yes.
And the original plumbing.
And the original plumbing, yes. Nothing was draining, so we knew it was time to do something.
Now, it's all coming out.
The old galvanized pipe had basically corroded shut. It's very expensive. It's, you know, we're probably going to be 20 grand into it by the time it's all finished.
And finishing can take several days of noisy mess.
This is where the majority of the excavating took place.
Plumber Jack Reagan shows us what it takes to repair what Florida's corrosive water does to pipes often laid in a home's concrete slab sitting in Florida's acidic soil.
It begins corroding from the outside while the water and sewer gas is corroding from the inside out. Double whammy.
The pipes give out even as wastewater and human sewage run through it.
Rather than going through the pipe, clearing it, it just goes right down into the ground.
That kind of pollution is mentioned on this website, pipelawsuit.com. It's run by Morgan & Morgan, which is filing a class action lawsuit over cast iron pipes. It claims that each month, residential homes leak more than 216 million gallons of raw sewage into Florida's water supply. So what can you do? Well, before you even buy a home...
Get it inspected by a plumber. Not just only a home inspector, but have the plumber inspected as well.
Jack says what may look like upgrades may not be the whole story.
Because often there's been remodeling done, and what's visible has been replaced with PVC. What's not visible under the concrete generally hasn't.
And Brad advises check the health of your pipes before you remodel.
And you know, if we had put our whole remodel job in without redoing the drain, and then a few years down the road having to redo the cast iron, we would have had to tear all that out anyway.
For now, he's just glad to get it all done, despite the short-term inconvenience.
Right now, we've lost all of our toilets. We have no toilet right now.
Lucky for them, a backup plan is in the yard.
We do have a little camper. We're going to be using the holding tank, so hopefully it won't last too long because we don't have a very big holding tank.
Or maybe y'all should just eat and drink less.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yes. Yeah, we might go visit some neighbors.
It is good to have good neighbors. It's not just cast iron. Copper pipes can get pinhole leaks, so PVC is considered the industry standard. To protect your pipes, ditch the wipes, even the ones that say flushable, they get caught on the rough spots. You want to avoid those harsh decloggers like Drano. That can make the pipe erosion even worse. Now here's a live look at where you can get more information right now. Go to fox4now.com. I got a long article on the website. Our web guy called it a beast. I got so much information. Every question you got is going to be answered there. And you'll have the plumber suggestion there on how to find a non-corrosive drain cleaner, more on that cast iron pipe lawsuit I mentioned, plus what the South Florida Water Management District and the State Department of Environmental Protection both had to say when I asked them about this possibility of residential leaks going right into the ground. Now, the reason we looked into the environmental impact of these corroding pipes is that we know that you choose to live in Southwest Florida just like we do for a reason.
That's right. Our environment, our weather all make Southwest Florida the perfect place to live, work, and play. So Fox 4 is committed to tracking environmental events and issues in a series we're calling Protecting Paradise. You can find our stories on our website, fox4now.com/protecting paradise. Interesting that the PVC is the standard, though.
And it's worth checking, even if you get a home inspection, to pay someone $200, a reputable plumber who's got a good record, to double check it. You could save yourself thousands.
Good to know. Derek.
All right, really good information there. Thanks, Patrick. Beautiful afternoon across the area after a gorgeous weekend. We saw another day of sunshine, and temperature's been creeping up here over the past couple of days. 85, the official high out at Page Field this afternoon. Some areas getting up around 90. Immokalee hitting 90 degrees this afternoon, and it looks like some areas could actually be even warmer here for tomorrow. We're looking at near record highs here for your Tuesday. Radar is mostly dry tonight, although we're tracking a few showers over here in the sections of eastern Hendry and over into parts of western Palm Beach County. You can see them just kind of tracking northward here through areas around Belle Glade. It looks like just to the east of Clewiston. These will head up towards Lake Okeechobee and eventually continuing moving off towards the north. Looks like, though, most areas will be dry. And it looks like any chance for rain this week is going to be very small and likely restricted to areas well inland, much like what we saw here for this evening. 60s and 70s right now. Looks like it'll be a mild night across the area. Temperatures bottoming out into the upper 60s to around 70. We're going to have some patchy dense fog to start off the morning for tomorrow, like we had the past couple of mornings. And then tomorrow's highs getting up into the upper 80s to around 90 degrees. You can see 84 here by lunchtime, and that humidity is going to be creeping up here across the area. The reason why it's so warm is because we have a big area of high pressure in the upper atmosphere that has parked itself over the Caribbean. Notice all the rain going up and over it, and you can see the jet stream flow, the clouds ripping along here at the top of your television screen. That extends all the way back out into the Pacific, so areas to our north are going to be seeing significant amounts of rainfall here this week. Some parts of the south could pick upwards of 6 to 10 inches of rainfall. We're right over the core of that high pressure, so we're going to be staying mostly dry. And the only thing we're going to be seeing as far as rainfall is concerned is a very isolated chance for an inland shower. We could see that coming up on Wednesday afternoon, but right now it looks like most areas, though, will be staying dry here for this week. 70 tonight, patchy fog. Tomorrow, 88 degrees. Record high is 89 out at Page Field. And some areas, though, may actually hit 90 degrees. The best chance of that happening, though, will be right along Highway 29. 7-day forecast, slim chance for a late day shower on Wednesday, otherwise remaining dry for the rest of the week with highs in the mid to upper 80s and overnight lows in the upper 60s.
A brush with death for a toy Yorkie, a hawk swooping in and trying to make off with the tiny dog. The red-tailed hawk in this video dives toward the toy Yorkie, the hawk fighting with its potential prey before dragging the puppy and hovering over her. The dog's owner tries to shoo the bird away before hitting it with a pillow. The hawk finally flew away. The dog is okay.
An emotional day in a Southwest Florida courtroom today.
Our daughter was not your first victim, but we hope and pray that she is the last.
A former coach sentenced for sexually abusing students, next on Fox 4 News at 10.
4. Live from the station that's in your corner. You're watching Fox 4 News at 10.
A former Mariner High School teacher and basketball coach accused of sexually assaulting 2 students will now spend 11 years in state prison. Fox 4 was the only television station in the courtroom as this played out.
4 New Corner's Catherine Marsh spoke with family members of the victim who say they're relieved this chapter, at least, is finally over.
Once a social studies teacher and boys basketball coach at Mariner High School in Cape Coral, this man, James Harris, will be spending the next 11 years in state prison.
He pled guilty to the second count of the charged information, which was having sex in the school.
According to police, Harris started texting an underage student in the summer of 2016. That relationship turned sexual in November of that year. The report indicates Harris had sex with the student at least 8 times between November and February 1st, both in his home and in the classroom.
He violated the trust of everyone in the community, the teachers that he worked with, the students, the faculty.
A tip to Crime Stoppers led the investigation into Harris's actions. The student confirmed her relationship with Harris in February of last year, and he was later arrested.
It's heartbreaking as parents to know that we sent our daughter to school and trusted that she was in a safe place, and you violated that trust.
In a statement read by State Prosecutor Michael Colombo this morning, the victim's family said it's been an extremely long and trying 2 years.
The game you played with your victims over the years was way too easy for way too long until you finally got caught.
This wasn't Harris's first sexual encounter with a Mariner High School student. Back in 2008, court records say Harris engaged in sexual activity with one of his students, and following the student's graduation in May, she had his baby.
Our daughter was not your first victim, but we hope and pray that she is the last.
Harris pled guilty to his actions this morning, and Colombo says the victim's family is finally ready to move forward.
This was closure for them, closure for our community. This type of conduct will not be tolerated.
Catherine Marsh, Fox 4, in your corner.
Now, after Harris finishes his sentence of 11 years in state prison, he'll be on probation for 48 months as a sexual predator, and he will be registered as a sexual predator for life.
A heads up for parents in Lee County. The school district is holding a series of marijuana use prevention seminars starting this week. Parents can learn about the myths, facts, and consequences of teen marijuana use. The first seminar will be at Dunbar Middle School on Wednesday. The rest of the dates are all on your screen. All of the seminars will be from 6 until 7 at night, and they are free for parents. Also happening this week, a Senate committee will vote on the bill which allows people to smoke medical marijuana. The bill has already undergone several changes. Governor Ron DeSantis has made it clear he wants the ban on smokable medical marijuana to be reversed. A vote on the measure is scheduled for Wednesday in Tallahassee. The Florida Highway Patrol is searching for a hit-and-run driver behind a dangerous crash in Fort Myers that happened Friday night. It was on Cypress Lake Drive near Fiesta Way. 4 in your corner received these photos from Kathy Loyola, the driver of the Jeep that overturned. She says she was in the Jeep with her grandson. Kathy says she's very thankful for everyone who helped. The Florida Highway Patrol is still searching for that hit-and-run driver.
Whether or not we find that person that night doesn't mean that we give up. We certainly don't. We have a trooper here in Southwest Florida that's all he does is locate people who make poor decisions.
And FHP says they have the tag number but are still looking for the driver involved in this incident. A motorcyclist accused of hitting a 2-year-old child in Port Richey last night and then drove away, troopers say, after Buddy Klein hit the child. His passenger got off the motorcycle and started screaming at the child's family members. That evening, following them into a home before getting back on the bike and driving off. The child was airlifted to the hospital as a trauma alert. Deputies later went to Klein's home and say he told them he wasn't involved in any crash. Klein was charged with a hit and run and DUI.
At least one person is dead after a crash in this area of Bonita Springs. This happened around 2:30 this afternoon on Bonita Beach Road and Bay Point Lane. Florida Highway Patrol officials say one driver cut off another driver, forcing that car off the road and into a bicyclist. and we have learned that bicyclist died right there at the scene. There was a roadblock in both directions of Bonita Beach Road for a while. A Pasco County pet shop in murky water with some customers tonight after somebody snapped these photos showing the water bottles used by small animals, and it looks like something's on the inside. Heather Lee spoke to the store's owner about the photos.
Caitlin Erickson was at Pet City in Holiday Saturday.
I actually left and came back and had taken a picture because I was so upset at the time I couldn't stop thinking about it.
The second trip was to snap these photos showing some sort of substance on the inside of the water bottles the small animals drink out of.
It was caked, invisibly green, like a dark green, caked, opaque. You can't even see through these bottles. These bottles are supposed to be clear.
Monday, the pet shop owner let our cameras in to see the new water bottles they put out in response to those concerns. The owner says workers are supposed to change the water twice a day, and they've never had any issues like this before. He tells us they take the utmost care of all their animals.
I think it's good. That's what I wanted. I wanted them to replace the bottles, obviously, but at the same time, I want to know what they're going to do to make sure that doesn't happen again. I want to know, are they going to actually clean them every time, or is it just going to happen again?
They say while the water bottles could have been overlooked, they shouldn't have been. They plan on making sure all their employees know how to properly clean them too. Pasco County Animal Services say they got a complaint about the water bottles on Friday and plan on inspecting the shop tomorrow. They say people should call them if they have any concerns about a pet shop.
A chemical reaction inside the University of Central Florida maintenance building caused a contractor to suffer serious burns. Orange County fire rescue officials say a 29-year-old contractor was injured in the explosion at UCF this afternoon and was taken to the hospital. No students were affected in the incident. Officials believe the contractor was transferring powdered chemicals when a static charge caused that reaction. Nobody else was in that employee-only building at the time.
The Fort Myers Police Department honored fallen officers this afternoon. They held a special ceremony today to reveal an honor chair for Officer Adam Jobbers Miller. He was killed in the line of duty last year. The president behind Saving a Hero's Place says he started building the chairs to help fellow officers recognize a fallen officer, but he soon realized that the chair's importance goes beyond the police department.
Originally, we wanted to do something for the department, but as we started doing them, we did realize that meant a lot for the family. We want them to know that their department's not going to forget their loved one.
It's a beautiful chair, too. FMPD unveiled the addition of Officer Jobbers Miller's name on a memorial monument. Blue Line Bears presented the family with teddy bears created to help families cope. Both the families of Officer Jobbers Miller and Deputy William Gentry also received donations from FMPD. Deputy Gentry worked for the Highlands County Sheriff's Office. He was killed last year in the line of duty. At-risk girls in our area will have even more help to build a better future after a generous donation. The Fort Myers Police Department presented this check for $13,000 to the Pace Center for Girls of Lee County. Chief Derek Diggs presided over the ceremony, handed over that check, and gave it to the nonprofit's director. Pace gives education, counseling, and advocacy for girls in our area.
All three of Southwest Florida's spring training teams have now had their first full day of full squad workouts. Pitchers and catchers for most of the teams, including the Rays, Red Sox, and Twins, have already been working out for a few days in our area. And Fox 4 was at the Red Sox workout this morning at Fenway South. Fans were eager to see their favorite players all together. One woman especially, a super fan, drove down for it.
We just won again at 18. Love Alex Cora, great manager. Team really seemed to click this year. I think we got most of the team back this year again, so looking forward to 2019. Very excited. I mean, it's Red Sox baseball. What could be better than that?
The Red Sox first home game will be against the Northeastern Huskies at 1:05 on Friday afternoon. The Twins' first home game is against the Tampa Bay Rays on Saturday at 6:05, and that's Fox 4 night, so we hope to see you there in person. We'll be there. And the Rays play on Friday against the Philadelphia Phillies. First pitch going out at 1:05 in that game as well. The promise to reveal your ethnic background, but wait a second. How accurate are these home DNA tests? Four in Your Corner looking into their accuracy after an investigation raises concern about the popular test kits.
A popular donut shop is helping students. How your kids can apply for a Dunkin' Donuts scholarship.
Samoas, Thin Mints, peanut butter patties. You know those Girl Scout cookies are back with those smiling faces. How you can use our website to find those treats.
And as we go to break, a look at the Storm Smart camera over Fort Myers Beach. You can only beat sweet treats with more sweetness. What a view, what a day. It was definitely a beach day. We're going to check in with Chief Meteorologist Derek Beasley to see if any more is in store this week on Fox 4 News at 10. You've probably seen the TV commercials, people discovering they're Irish, Norwegian, or Italian after taking a DNA test.
Well, tonight, 4 in Your Corner's John Matarese is showing you why some people are now questioning their accuracy, so you don't waste your money. John?
It seems everyone is checking their ancestry these days at sites like Ancestry.com and 23andMe. But how accurate are they at finding where you're really from? Well, a new report raises some questions. Every day, long-lost relatives are reunited at airports.
Oh my gosh, look at you.
After an ancestry test brought them together. Kelly Ralston found brothers and sisters she never knew she had thanks to a test by Ancestry.com.
She's like, oh my gosh, you girls.
But a new report by the CBC, Canadian Broadcasting, says twins got some mystifying results when they put 5 DNA ancestry kits to the test. 2 identical twins did DNA swab tests and sent them off to 23andMe. Result, one sister showed French and German ancestry that her identical twin did not. And they had different degrees of Eastern European heritage. So from the Doesn't That Stink file, assuming that one DNA ancestry test is the final say. 23andMe tells the CBC that minor variations in swab samples can lead to slightly different ancestry results. If you assume a test is 100% correct, you may end up saying, doesn't that stink? The CBC says each company looks at slightly different things, so results may vary. Bottom line, different companies have different ways to analyze your DNA, so make sure you understand that a single report may not be the final word, so you don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese, Fox 4 in your corner.
Irish did not come up for me. Dunkin' Donuts wants to help students in Florida go to college. The company will give out $38,000 in scholarships to 38 high school seniors across the state, including right here in Southwest Florida. This is for seniors who plan to enroll full-time at an accredited 2-year or 4-year college, university, or vocational school. Students need a minimum 3.5 GPA. You can apply at the website. It's on your screen through May 1st.
Girl Scout cookie season is back in Southwest Florida. From now through March 17, St. Patrick's Day, you can find cookie booths all across the area. And if you're not sure where to find one, there's a cookie locator online. Just head to fox4now.com and click on this story and just enter your zip code. Not only does buying cookies help satisfy your sweet tooth, you're also helping Girl Scouts learn life skills like money management, goal setting, decision making, people skills, and business ethics.
It just teaches me so much, and it has done so much for me, and it's really helped me be more confident, because before I was so shy, and now I try to put myself out there.
She's even doing TV interviews. She got over the shyness. For more details on how to get your hands on Girl Scout cookies close to you, again, just go to our website, fox4now.com.
But they're just outside of all public stores.
I saw some of them selling yesterday in Northwest Cape. I was out riding my bike, and I saw this woman across the street, and I'm like, I can't believe she's not wearing a helmet. And I get a little closer, and it's Patricia, our coworker at Fox 4. And guess who else forgot to wear his helmet? Me!
Oh, hello.
But the weather was so awesome. I just jumped on the bike and went. It's been perfect.
Wind in your hair and
Yeah.
catch a couple rays.
Felt good. Felt real summer-like this afternoon.
It did. It was
Yeah.
pretty toasty just stepping out the door.
Yeah, it looks like we've got more of that on the way here for tomorrow. Take a look at these. These are your Tuesday records. So kind of give you an idea of what we could be threatening here. Page Field record 89, set back in 1944. We're going to get pretty close to that here for tomorrow. We're expecting a high of 88 degrees. We'll be 1 degree shy, of course. Punta Gorda, 86 degrees, last set back in 2018. We're going to be close to that. And Naples, 1997, head up to 87 degrees here on that day, February 19th. And it looks like those temperatures tomorrow, again, will be getting close to record levels across a good chunk of southwest Florida. Immokalee hit 90 degrees this afternoon. And it looks like as we head into the rest of the week, we're going to be looking at temperatures continuing well above average across the area. And the chances for rain are looking very small. Here's a look at what the radar is showing right now. We've got a couple of showers that are trying to sneak through parts of northwest Palm Beach County. We did see a couple of these sneak into Hendry County. Clewiston, especially on the east side of town, out towards the Harlem area, you could actually see a light shower here over the next half hour or so. But it looks like most areas, though, are going to be staying dry here for tonight. And it looks like that'll be the case throughout the week. And any shower chances that we do see will be on an isolated basis. 60s and 70s for tonight. Tomorrow morning, we'll wake up into the upper 60s to around 70. We'll have some patchy dense fog in some areas. Expecting upper 80s to around 90 here for tomorrow. That's way above where we should be for this time of year temperature-wise. And the reason for that is we've got this stubborn ridge of high pressure that is sitting over the Caribbean, and all the rain is going up and over it. You can see how the rain is stuck in this general location, and this has been the case since last week. And that is all as a result of this area of high pressure, with the Pacific moisture extending all the way back into the South Pacific, dragging its way across northern portions of Mexico into the southern plains. This area is going to be seeing a ton of rain over the next week or so, anywhere from 6 to 10 inches of rain. Some spots could get more than that between now and Saturday. Notice that we're going to be staying mainly dry with the exception of the northern portion of the state, which will kind of get the fringes of that. And our temperatures are going to be cranking up as well, staying well above average all the way through the rest of the week and likely into part of next week as well. So here's a look at your forecast temperatures tomorrow morning. Upper 60s to around 70. Highs tomorrow, again, topping out into the upper 80s to around 90 degrees. I think the hottest temperatures, though, are going to be in the typically warmer spots, inland portions of Glades, Hendry, and inland Collier for tomorrow. And it looks like we'll see the same thing again on your Wednesday. So tonight, down to 70, patchy fog, calm winds. Tomorrow, 88. That would be 1 degree shy of tying the record high. East-southeast winds at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Your Ingman Marine forecast sees 2 feet. South winds in the afternoon at 5 to 10 knots. Inland waters, a light chop. Here's your 7-day forecast, and we stay toasty for the rest of the week with at least mid-80s here through the weekend and very slim opportunities for isolated showers, particularly on Wednesday, mainly for our inland counties near Highway 29 and points east.
Thank you for being a fan. Yeah, when you can set sail on a Golden Girls themed cruise from Florida. Next at 10.
Say bon voyage and prepare to set sail, Golden Girls style. Get ready to travel down the road and back again on the Golden Girls themed cruise leaving from South Florida in February of 2020. You can dive in your favorite 80s sitcom aboard the Celebrity Infinity, sailing from Miami to Key West and Cozumel. Come ready to party with activities including trivia, bingo, dance parties, bar crawls, and costume contests. All inspired, of course, by Sophia, Dorothy, Blanche, and Rose, who want to thank you for being a friend. Mamma mia, Mario is sold. An unopened 1985 vintage copy of Nintendo's Super Mario Bros. Sells to a group of game collectors. Wait until you hear the amount. The iconic video game sold for over $100,000, breaking the record for the largest sale for a graded video game. Released in 1985, Super Mario Bros., regarded as one of the greatest video games of all time.